Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carol Ashburn. I'm the Marketing Director here at Prophesy. On behalf of the entire Prophesy team, I'd like to welcome you to today's Webinar Wednesday presentation. Today's presentation is going to cover 5 ways that your company can improve your customer service levels. We'll offer some quick fixes that your team can put into place right away, as well as a more cohesive long-term strategy. Our presenter today is Kevin Pasternak, our own National Sales Manager here at Prophesy. Kevin has been in the transportation industry for more than 30 years and with Prophesy for 20. During that time, he's worked with countless transportation companies to improve their business strategies in all areas, including customer service. So he's got some great information to share. So we have quite a bit to cover today. So without further ado, I'd like to pass it over to Kevin, and he'll get us started.
Thank you very much, Carol, and I too would like to welcome everybody that's on the webinar today. We're certainly glad you could join us. In preparing for today's presentation, I came across a quote from Dr. Tony Alessandra, and you can see it on your screen. It's being on par in terms of price and quality only gets you into the game. Service is what's going to win the game. And I'm sure you would all agree with that we can go out and we can win the business, but we better perform or we're not going to keep the business. The 5 items that we're going to cover today include backing up information like it's Fort Knox for your customers, keeping all of their past and current details readily accessible, don't make them pick up the phone for routine manners, empower them to get details they need when they need it, and constantly reinforcing that they have chosen a stable, forward-thinking company to partner with. We'll go through some of these ways that you can improve in each of these areas, providing you with easy tips that you can put in place today. We'll also look at some long-term solutions that will fully automate these in your customer service efforts. And as we go through the slides today, you are going to see some links to several different websites. There's no need for you to write those down in a hurry. We're going to send you all of these links after today's presentation. So number 1, backing up their information like it's Fort Knox. A couple things you want to make sure that you do with their information. You want to make sure that you password protect it so people can't get at it. You also want to go ahead and back up their information on hard drives so that you don't lose it. Hard drives can be extremely inexpensive today, external hard drives. There's a great article in PC Magazine that we'll be sharing with you about where you can get the hard drives. So we know how sensitive everybody is today about data and information. And this not only actually goes for your customers, but also even internally about protecting information. So there's ways that we'll show you a bit later on how to do that, but as far as backing up the data, we certainly encourage you to use external hard drives to back that up, and also back it up on a regular basis. In addition, I would strongly suggest that as you back up that data, periodically put in place a procedure for restoring that data. I know customers in the past that have backed up data, they've gone to restore it when they had a system failure, and they found out, unfortunately too late, that they had been backing up information that just wasn't any good, and they couldn't restore that data. And make sure you share all this information with your prospects and your customers. Keeping all their past and current information readily accessible. You know, you want to be ready to pull up information when they call you. You know, was it from last week? Was it last year? You shouldn't have to search around for that information. You want to make sure that they know that you know where all their information is when it happened. A quick fix and a way you could do this today without a system would be to scan all the documents, save those trip documents, put them in folders on your system, name them by the customer or by the customer and by the date, so you can go ahead and pull that information up when your customer calls you. That could include load documents, trip documents, BOLs, PODs, etc. Obviously, you'll need a scanner to do this, and once again, we're going to send you a link to some of the best scanners that are available on the market today. Don't make your customers pick up the phone for routine matters. You want to reduce or eliminate the time that you spend on the phone with your customers servicing them. Instead, you want to provide automated alerts. Let them know when their loads are delivered. How much time do you spend on the phone each day with your customers, giving them routine information that perhaps they could get for themselves? Well, one way to do that, a quick fix, low cost, would be to subscribe to OhDon'tForget.com. It's a simple messaging service. You can create templates, easily modified, and you can quickly provide them with POD information and load updates. Of course, it's a manual process. Empower your customers to get the details they need right when they need it. How could you do this? Well, you can offer secure online information to their loads. Well, once you've scanned that information that we talked about earlier in, maybe you want to upload it to something like Dropbox. Some of you may have used Dropbox before, but you can subscribe to a premium level service at Dropbox. You can upload documents, and then your customer can go on to Dropbox, to the link that you provide them, and download documents that they need, that they want. That's a way to provide them with that so they don't have to call you and get that information. And reinforce with them that they've chosen a stable, forward-thinking company to partner with. Don't just do these things. You know, you want to tell them about your superior customer service. And one way of doing that would be to put it right out there on your website. Explain to them that you take pride in what you do and your high service levels compared to perhaps your competitors. But you've got to, once again, you've got to tell them about this. If you don't have a website, you can certainly get a free website, and that's one of the services out there, Weebly.com, where you could get and subscribe to and create your own website in no time at all. And certainly the quick fixes that we've just gone over, those will help. And we've tried to show you some quick fixes that will help you accomplish, the basics. What I'd like to do now is show you a system purpose-built to handle these tasks and then some. So let's take a look at how, within the Prophesy dispatch system, which is one of our TMS systems that we offer here at Prophesy High Jump, of how you could accomplish these items right in our system. I'm just going to switch over to the live system. First off, protecting their data and backing it up. When you log into dispatch, each person has a username and password, and that's how they're going to access the system. So you can share with your customers that their data is certainly secure. The information about their loads is certainly secure. But even within the application itself, each user has specific rights that you can assign to that user. So when you come into a user and you create their username and password, you're also going to create what they can or can't do within the system. And there are multiple categories from accounting, applications, operations, and you can give people no access, view only, or full positions. Obviously, I'm set up as an administrator, so I basically have full access in my program. But you can come in and you can certainly limit what people can do, what they can change, what they can't change, what they can see, what they can't see in the system. The second thing we talked about as far as customer service was keeping all their past and present info readily available. Documents when they call. How can we help them with the dispatch system? Well, if you get a call from a customer, and let's say that they were asking you for a bill of lading, and all they knew about that bill of lading was a purchase order number. Well, you could simply click search, come down to PO number. Let's say the PO number they gave us was 51454. Click enter. We can see that was on load 1941. In fact, not only was it on load 1941, but it was from 2005, so it was a relatively old load. They're really testing us today. They're going back in time looking for that paperwork. I'm simply going to double click on that load, and I'm going to view the detail, view the images, and up are going to come all of the images that I have on file for load 1941. whether I scan these images in yesterday, last week, last month, or in this case, 5 years ago. Well, what they wanted was a bill of lading, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the bill of lading, and then I'm simply going to click email. And that bill of lading is going to be automatically attached to the email. The system automatically puts in the customer's email address, tells them who it's coming from. I can type in whatever message I want, hit send, and that bill of lading will be sent right to the customer right while I'm on the phone with them, and they don't have to wait to get that bill of lading. The other thing that you can also do with document imaging is you can associate documents with master files, such as drivers, tractors, trailers, carriers, customers. In fact, let's go into a driver file. And we've got driver Andrews here, and we can go to document imaging, and we can see here we've got a picture of the driver. We could also scan in, let's say, a CDL. So we can scan in any type of documents, and we can define any type of image types that we want. They're 100% user definable, whether they're load or invoice related, whether they're driver related, equipment related, motor carrier related, customer related. We can scan those in, and we can associate them. The other great thing about document imaging is that it gets tied into invoicing. So within a customer file, you could actually select what documents that customer requires to go with their invoices. Let's take a look at one of those. So we'll go to customers, and we'll just search on a customer here. And right down here where it says document rendition requirements, we could look and we could see maybe this customer requires a bill of lading. So we would select that and save it. So when we went to the invoicing screen, if the bill of lading had not been scanned in, well, then the system would tell us we were missing a document, and then we could go ahead and we could search, run a missing documents report, find out what documents was missing, and get that document scanned in. There's also multiple ways to get documents in the system. You could scan them right from a scanner at your desk. You could scan them from a network scanner, or you could even scan them from a mobile application that we integrate to called Drive Axle. That way you're going to get your documents back as soon as your driver scans them. They get in the system, and you can certainly invoice the customer quicker. Another item that we talked about was letting your customers giving your customers access to information themselves. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log into our SkyTrack application. And SkyTrack is fully integrated with Dispatch, so information from your dispatch system will automatically update into the SkyTrack program. And we're specifically today going to take a look at what's called the Delivery Work Center in SkyTrack. Now you will give your customers specific rights, user rights, when they come for what they can see in SkyTrack, what they can't see in SkyTrack. And I'm just going to drag this over here a little bit just so we can see a little bit more of the grid. So when your customer comes in, you can set this up where you can define, what data they can see. You can see I've got whether the load is on time or not, red is late, green is on time, whether any documents have been uploaded here, load number, the status of the load, the customer, ship date, delivery date, origin, destination information. I'm just going to scroll across here. You can see BOL, PO information. And there's even more information that's available. If I right-click here, you'll see the items that aren't checked or additional items. If you wanted to show them up here in the Delivery Work Center, you could make those available and show them to your customer. So there's no need for your customer to call you. There's no need for your customer to perhaps wait on hold or to take the time from one of your dispatchers who's trying to find perhaps a load for one of your drivers, and then has to start answering a question for a customer. The customer can come here, they can see their load information, they can even see documents, and they can also get notified about loads. So if you have a customer that would like to be notified when the load is picked up, when the load is delivered, perhaps it's a multi-stop truckload and they want alerts for each stop along the load. Well, SkyTrack can be figured to automatically send out alerts via email. It can also automatically send out alerts via a text. So it's extremely flexible. The alerts are 100% user definable, event driven, and we can configure those with you. The other thing we had talked about was empowering the customers regarding finding their paperwork. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, you can configure within a customer file that you can upload paperwork, and you can define what types of paperwork should be uploaded from dispatch. And where you see the docs and where you see like a little paper clip, if I click on that, that means that a document exists for that load. So let's just drill into this load right here, 8724, and we can see right here is the bill of lading for that load. That automatically got uploaded from the dispatch system. So your customer could come here, they could print it out if they wanted to, they could download it, they could email it, but once again, they don't have to call you to get this information because you've empowered them with the ability to get that information themselves. And finally, the last thing we talked about would be implementing a fully integrated solution. With the features that I've reviewed with you today, you can give your customers the service of a much larger organization without all the overhead and at a very reasonable cost. So as far as questions, there were a couple questions that I did get during the presentation. The first one that was asked was about getting data from the dispatch program to SkyTrack. Does that happen automatically? And how often can it be uploaded? And that's a great question. The information is uploaded automatically through our integration framework. We configure that with you. And as far as how often it gets updated, once again, we can configure that with you as well. So if you'd like the information to get uploaded very quickly, we can configure it to do that. Or if you want it to happen every 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, we can configure that as well. It runs in the background. You don't have to touch it. You won't even know it's there from a performance standpoint. So all of that will happen automatically. And another question we got related to how do I define what images get uploaded to SkyTrack? Well, you do that on a per customer basis. And per customer, you can go into dispatch, go into the customer's file in dispatch, and you can select which documents or document types that you would like to be uploaded. We have another question that came in regarding GPS, and it was, do you have a GPS system partner to automatically update dispatch? In fact, we have several partners. First off, we do have our own mobile application that runs on the Android platform currently, and that's SkyTrack Mobile. And with SkyTrack Mobile, on the SkyTrack site I saw you, there's also a side that's called the Driver Work Center, and you would see your drivers on there, and you can see if they're moving, they're stopped, a complete breadcrumb trail. You could put a big screen up right in your dispatch where everybody can see them. So that is one MobileCom solution. Our other MobileCom partners include Omnitrax, Rand McNally, PeopleNet, Teletrack, and on the trailer tracking side, we also integrate with the Global Wave system from TransCore and with Skybits as well. All of those systems, keep in mind, automatically update dispatch, and then if you've got the SkyTrack Delivery Work Center, that's automatically updated, so there's a full circle of service that occurs there. The next question and last question we have today says, I mentioned the ability to text info to a customer. I believe you can also text load info to the driver. Has that feature become available through an update or how? It's a great question. Actually, today in the dispatch system, you can email load info directly to a driver, either from the dispatch board or right from the assignment screen. Customers that are texting today, you can put in the driver's email address, you could just put in their phone number, their 10-digit phone number at whatever the domain is for their carrier, such as Verizon is vtext.com. What we are working on and what we will be releasing within the next 30 days is within a driver's file you will be able to add their preferred method of receiving load info, whether it's email or text. You'll be able to add the domain for their cell carrier. And then when you go to text or email load info to a driver off of the dispatch board or the assignment screen, it will say email or text. You'll click on it, and then whatever is selected as the default in that driver file will automatically populate. So if the default is text, it'll automatically fill in their 10-digit number at whatever it is. And we're also giving a little bit different formatting to the message because I'm sure you all know that text messages are limited to 160 characters, where guys that are getting, or drivers that are getting emails on smartphones, you can email as big a message as you want. We're also, if it goes out as a text, we'll also be parsing that message. So instead of, if it's more than 160 characters, which I'm sure it will be, instead of just getting one text message, they will get a series of text messages together that they'll read as one message. So that's a great question. You should see that should become available in about 30 days. As with all our updates, we can't send all the updates out to all the customers at once. They are sent out over the course of time. So I would suggest, Jim, if that's something that you have been waiting for, and apparently it is, that you contact your account manager, and as soon as that becomes available, we'll be sure to get that out to you. The one final question we just got in has to do with intermodal. Will the system track and trace rail containers? We have a few customers that use our software for intermodal. You can certainly track containers as a trailer, but it really is not designed as a full intermodal system for tracking chassis, containers, worrying about per diem, things like that. The system is really more geared towards truckload, multi-stop truckload, multi-shipment truckload, over the road, as well as local aggregate, but with all types of industries from dry van reefers, flats, liquid dry bulk, etc. I would like to thank you again for joining us for today's webinar on customer service. If you'd like more information, you can contact me at my information on the screen or your account representative. Once again, thank you very much, and have a nice day.